Good evening, CISC150 and Professor Moshiri. My name is Philip Greenberg, and I will be screencasting tonight about one of my favorite games to ever play on a computer. Now, while I realize there are many different kinds of video game, to me it is more important to understand that there is something fun and innovative, something that requires you to think, solve complex problems, and multitask quite a bit. Oh, and destroy robots. If you like that, then please continue into my little guide here for the first level of Synthetic.
The year is 1985. After many years of slavery, the AI servants of the Qaeda Corporation, the world leader in robotics, have formed the Machine Legion and have set out to destroy humanity. Awakening in Qaeda Corporation headquarters, you are the human consciousness of a forgotten android prototype, the last straw holding the Legion back from unleashing the heart of Armageddon.
Synthetic is a roguelike shooting game which focuses on the idea of repetition, learning, dying, rinsing, and repeat. As you can see here, you are a robot. Pretty fancy guy. You have guns, shields, weapons and ammunition, all sorts of things. Now, the main focus of this game is to get across levels, get out alive, and do so very stylishly. What I find sets this game apart from a lot of other games is a focus on many kinds of gritty realism. The weapons you use can degrade over time. Your ability to use them can also be improved by learning how to deal with things like aim, how to stabilize your stance in order to perform more important shots, and how to deal with various different kinds of enemies, including those with heavy forms of armor, those who are not, those who like to jump in your face, and many other different kinds of things. Now, I know a lot of people like to play games that are strictly multiplayer, involving lots of other people, but there are also others who like to play games like Minecraft, which involve more thinking on your own, and experimenting with different ideas in order to solve complex problems. This game is a little bit of the mix of the two. It allows you the tactical freedom to really mess around with different ways of solving the brute force problem of, how do I kill these thousands of robots? Now, for those of you who do not enjoy violence and like more of the thinking aspect of games, you can think of your robot almost as a gardening project. A robot over time has many special abilities and stats to keep track of, which can be upgraded just like any sort of computer. Your weapons themselves can be upgraded, cataloged with different kinds of ammunition, different types of ammunition, different variations of caliber, so on and so forth, that make you more effective at destroying the Machine Legion. At the end of each level, you teleport into a new one, where you face increasing levels of enemy resistance, and the overall terror level, which is the Machine Legion's the guess of how pissed off at you they are. Enemies will be more responsive, aggressive, and generally throw more things at you to destroy you, like these machine towers. And mortars, bombs, exploding robots, suicide squads, you name it. It can get pretty ridiculous. The game is very customizable. There are many other functions which I'm not using here, like the active reloading systems, jamming and unjamming your weapons. Yes, your weapons can jam in and out of combat. And there are many quality of life improvements that just make it a step ahead of things like Call of Duty. For example, weapons have to be individually unloaded and reloaded, and those are two separate buttons, to give this overall sense of really handling a weapon. It's something that other games fail to do. Simply they see the idea as, well, you should just push a button, have an animation occur. But there's an overall great sense of immersion in having to perform all these tasks yourself. It cements you in the idea that you are actually a person fighting your way through a Machine Legion. And at the end of the day, isn't being immersed in a game the best way to enjoy it? I don't know about you, but I'm not a huge fan of letting others dictate what I'm supposed to be doing. Experimenting and learning about the world is the crux, I think, of a game. Absorbing new information and ideas, learning how to cope with setbacks and loss, and how to improve overall, not just as a robot that is running through horrible levels of dilapidated and evil machinery, but also as a human being who is learning how to grow and develop. Now, of course, what happens when you get much farther along and bite off more than you can chew, the machines will become even stronger, more powerful, and find more things to throw at you, and you will eventually suffer a horrible mortality failure, and you start over from the beginning. You are graded based on your performance, what you did, and you were given many ways of categorizing what sort of choices you made and how far along you could go. Of course, I'm not really going to go into the detail about all these many things, but if you're a fan of data, if you're a fan of having many options and this sort of rinse-repeat thrill of trying something new and trying it again, I highly recommend that if you, as a gamer, might try out Synthetic. It is very stylish, very classy, and doesn't throw too much at you unless you want it to, in which case it will throw never-ending amounts. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you all have a very pleasant evening, and enjoy the rest of class. Thank you very much.